Hello, this is needlepointers.com, and today I'd like to show you how to make this fleece infinity scarf similar to the one that I have here that I'm wearing. This is an easy project that even a beginner can make.
Okay, what you're going to need is a half a yard of fleece fabric, which is like 58 to 60 inches wide, a needle and thread, and a sewing machine. The first thing you need to do is sometimes when they cut the material, the edges are not straight. So you need to straighten the edges so that it's about 18 inches wide. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it. There's the short sides. And we're going to turn it and put it together. And we're going to sew using a 1/2 inch seam allowance along the long edge. Now you can pin it if you want. You also want to back stitch at the beginning and also at the end. And if you're not comfortable, you can also always pin the whole thing, but I am just going to start to sew. Now I'm going to sew this whole edge. It's going to take me a little while, so I'll come back and I'll show you what to do after I have this all
As you can
sewn.
see, I have it all stitched. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take it, you're going to press the seam open, and you're going to press it so that this is approximately in the middle when you're doing it. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to turn it right side out. And all I'm doing is I'm putting my hand all the way through it, and I'm turning it. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take the one end, this end, and you're going to put the right sides together, and you're going to move this up and make sure that you keep the seam lined up all the way up. And we're going to pin these together right here. Okay, I'm going to line the raw edges up and pin it together. We're going to stitch around this using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, but we're going to leave open right here about 4 or 5 inches so we can turn the scarf right side out. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine now, and I'm going to stitch.
My sewing machine happens to have that. I can take this off and I can put my material in there. If you don't have that, you have to be very careful that you don't catch the material as you're going around when you're sewing it, okay? And I'm using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm going to back tack. And then go all the way around and leave that opening like I said. Okay, I'm around. I didn't mention, but you really should take your pins out and not sew over them. Okay, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to trim my threads. Now you're going to pull this through that opening. Your scarf. Now the next thing is fold these ends in
pin them. So they stay together. And then using a thread and needle, we're going to stitch the opening closed by hand. Now to do that, all you need to do is just take a little stitch on this side, and then a little, go over to the other side directly across where the material's folded, take a little stitch, and then just continue to do that all the way across to close it up. Okay, I have it hand stitch closed. What I'm going to do is just make a knot. There's a loop. Put my needle through there 2 times and pull. And I usually just take the needle, run it through the material, and then I cut it. And there, your infinity scarf is completed. You should be able to do this in approximately maybe about 30 minutes, and they make nice gift item for someone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and comment. Subscribe to our channel because we publish new crafting videos on Mondays and Thursdays. On Saturday, we post quick tip videos and we share our personal craft projects. Go to our newly revised website, needlepointers.com, for free sewing projects and lots of sewing information.